Hey guys, and welcome to game number 66 out of 100 of the Mack vs. Machine series, where I'll be playing 100 games of Scrabble against the top online bot, HastyBot. We're coming off of a over 300 point loss in the last game, where HastyBot bingoed 7 times, so be sure to go ahead and check that one out. That was game number 65, if you haven't seen that one already. But in the meantime, hopefully in game number 66 today, we'll be able to fare a little bit better. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. We are first, and we have, let's see, we almost have punitive, but we need an I for that. So what do we want to do? We have a bunch of options here, none of which are great. You could consider exchanging, probably 2 or 3. You'd probably exchange either VU or VUP to go all in for a bingo. That's an option. You could... Problem is you can't really play both the V and the U at once. So you could play something like Vin, but EPTU is pretty bad. I have to imagine exchanging is better than that. You could also play up for 8, but the V is much weaker than the P, so I don't think that's worth it either. You could also play input, I guess, but I'm not such a big fan of that either. So I think I'm going to actually exchange, and really the only question is, do I trade 2 or 3? The nice thing about keeping the P is that when I do bingo, the bingos will score more just because the P is a 3-point tile. And it also does provide me some insurance when I don't bingo that I'll at least have a scoring play. So I think I'm going to go ahead and exchange 2 here. Okay, so we draw back a V and an N, which is not what we wanted. He makes a bizarre play of melons for 22. So he pretty clearly kept another S, or else there's no reason why he wouldn't have just played melon. So very bizarre. I guess, yeah, melons and an S. I definitely would have just played MOL or something. I definitely would not have played that many tiles and given back so many floaters, especially after a small exchange. But okay. So we know he has another S. And definitely didn't draw what we wanted here. So maybe just Vin? I mean, I don't really see a way to score more points. Obviously, we're not going to play Invent since we know he kept an S. And that would just be giving him free reign of that double word score. And yeah, I mean, what else do I even have? I could play Vine as well, but Vin scores a few more points, so I think just Vin probably is fine here. Not a very inspiring play, but... I mean, I guess there's also Venom. Either through that E or under here, if I want to score a few more points. Maybe this is better, just since it does set up my P kind of nicely with lip. It's close. It's 8 more points, which is a bit. Yeah, I kind of think I'm going to go with Venom, actually, just to set up that P coming across for big plays or bingos. I think it is worth it. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, he plays Oaken, so he does still have an S. And I don't believe we have any bingos here, unfortunately. I could use that lip setup, but I'm not sure what I really have. P is not great since the E is such a good bingo tile. And I don't think I have much with PO here. I'd love to get rid of an A as well. So I don't have a ton of great options there. Do I have anything with like ALI? Don't see much. Huh. Maybe something with OME, like proteome almost? I don't think so. Huh. I mean, I can't imagine P is the best play, but maybe it is. I just don't really see a way for me to play off. I mean, I have Opa here. That's 15. I don't know if AERT is 10 better than AORT. It is actually probably close. It's definitely way better for bingo percentage, especially with a floating S. It also does take out this spot, which could be potentially dangerous if he picked up an X. See, I'm debating mostly OPA and P, I think, at this point. It's definitely close. I think I'm going to go with P. Because also OPA sets up a D hook for DOPA that I don't have, which I'm not a huge fan of. Yeah, I think the 10 points is enough. I'm going to go ahead and play P. Okay, so he plays Jaeger. We pick up the W, so a little bit clunky. Crowbait with a C would be nice, but no such luck here. Probably just bow. Yeah, I mean, it scores 30, it keeps AIRT. It does give back some scoring plays, unfortunately, in the upper middle part of the board, but I don't really think we have another option. So I'm going to go ahead and play that. Alright, he plays Latex. Ooh, and we do have a nice bingo of tiramisu through this S. So that will, at least for now, keep us in the game. Well, and we're probably not really in the game, as he triples with Wool-like for 113. It was actually only 113 because he used both blanks as the W and the K. So this game isn't entirely over yet, but it's not looking good. Yeah, without a blank unseen, it's going to be pretty tough. Also, this is not a good board at all for bingoing. It's pretty tight. Huh. Do I have anything from this T that triples the W or the H? Towing is pretty bad. Prowing? Pretty sure that's not a word. Yeah, I have no idea here. I don't think I see much through this A either. We could play hauling. I'd love to score more than like 26 points though, given our deficit. I don't think we have much through this A. I guess there's like Wayne, but that's a pretty bad leave. Don't think I see much here either. Wow. Yes, feels like the type of rack where I should be able to score reasonably well. Maybe wrong? Or actually maybe ring is a little bit better because there's fewer O's than I's. Just to at least set up an S hook that's a little bit tough to block. And I do keep good scoring tiles. Yeah, it's probably fine. Ring or wrong? That's the question. I think I'm going to go with ring. Just because HI, if I get another I, can be really clunky. Okay, so he plays Beige. And let's see, do I have anything here to at least score well? Unfortunately, Orphaned doesn't work because there's no E. Apron, maybe? At least it scores pretty well. Opens some lines. It's looking extremely bleak either way. I'm actually close to some cool stuff like through these tiles here with M, E, and E. Like I'm close to things like Homered. Fortunately, HAR is no good. Yeah, I think I gotta play Apron just to open some stuff up. And we now have all 4 Ds. Whoa. We just drew D, 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 I, V. That is a big problem. A very big problem. I don't even know if I've ever actually had 4 Ds on the same rack. That's absolutely insane. I mean, I think I have to just exchange here, right? Like, what else? What else do I do? I mean, I'm not going to play Did, keeping DDH for 18 points. So yeah, I think we exchange 6. I mean, I think it makes sense to keep a D because I know I won't be getting another one, and there are a lot of E's left. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to exchange 6. And now we pull the Q. So, not going our way, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, this game is pretty much lost. Like, I don't even see a viable way to potentially win here at this point. I mean, what if I try to, like, keep the Q and hope to draw the other U? Is there even anything that I could really get? Because I'm down so much that unless I bingo twice or score a ton with my bingo, I just don't see how I'm going to ever win. Hefty? I mean, I don't even know. I don't think I can just play QI. I don't think I'm ever going to win if I do that. Do I have anything to this F? Deify or Edify? Keeping QFH though, I mean, that just literally I don't think ever bingos. I put Edify down here. That keeps... Maybe if I play Edify, I can draw like a Henneken to this end. If I can pull like NEIU, then I think I have an outside shot. Now, that's as good as anything I see. And it does set up QI for next turn, so let's go for it. Okay, no such luck, but I do have QI. So maybe now I can draw like overhead or something, and that could conceivably win. I have Achieve. But I don't think it's going to play. Yeah, I mean, the pool is also pretty good for scoring. Maybe if he has like no vowels, is there any universe in which I can win? That's the question. What if I play like Vetch or something, right? Because if I play Vetch, it's a lot of points. I'll be down like 87. I'm just thinking if there's any way I could maybe exploit HastyBot a little bit. Because I think against a human, if they just don't empty the bag, they would always win. But this leaves 3 in the bag. So if he tries to play like 3 tiles off for not a large score, and then gets the Z, then I might be able to win if I can like bingo to this N. Maybe? I could also... The problem is, I was going to say I could play something like here. But then, if I'm giving him back bigger plays, like if he just has Zeta or Zeds, the game is completely over. So I don't think I can afford to do that. I don't really like blocking all these lines with Vetch, though. That's the problem. Huh. So, okay, maybe if I play... I guess probably Have, because there's 2 I's left, or 2 A's left and no I's. So if I play Have, like, what if he doesn't have the Z, and he just plays, like, Head for 36? If I can bingo out with, like, Nictated, would that hypothetically win? So, like, let's say I draw ADTT and he plays Head. So 36-11, I'd be down 128. Oh, but then Head blocks Nictated. That's the problem. So I need to draw something to the N. Yeah, I just don't even think that scores enough, because I would still need like 90. I probably need to bingo with the Z. So maybe, can I draw like Datezine or something? No, I can't draw that. I need another I. Yeah, I'm down to like a minute. I have no idea how I could even conceivably win this game. I mean, I either have to play Vetch or Have, I think. I don't see anything else that gives me any shot. I feel like maybe Vetch has a slightly higher chance, just because it doesn't give back such big plays. But let's see. Okay, so he plays Sindet and Roadside Side Road, Sardined. Don't think I have anything. Alright. Yeah, okay, I don't think so. And I'm out of time. So I'm just gonna play this. And yeah, that was a bad play. And oh, I went out of time. Okay. Yeah, I'll figure out the spread in this endgame here, but at that point I didn't really care. I was just trying to give myself as best a chance to bingo as I could. Of course, Aided is a terrible play because it gives him haze. I should probably just block Azoth on the bottom and force him to play Czar or something like that. But, I mean, I still felt I was sort of in it until the end, just given the outside shot of catching him with the Z. But let's take a look. Yeah, so the static wants me to play input, which isn't shocking. Maybe it's better. I mean, EV is not a particularly good leave, and EINPT is a pretty strong 5-tile leave on the exchange. It's just that I really didn't draw anything good at all. I drew back, or I drew the other V as well as a duplicate N. So basically a rack just as bad as what I started with. And yeah, I think Venom is fine. I just didn't really think PENT was that strong after Vin. It's just a little bit too constant heavy. So between that and the 8 extra points and setting up the P spot, I felt this was justified. Oaken is a kind of interesting looking play here. I don't love the leave of Jags. Yeah, this play is maybe better. It's certainly better defensively for blocking the S. And AKOS is a little bit more flexible than AGJS as a leave. It's certainly not a particularly good play. You could also consider this because it sets up things like Jakes if you can pull an E for 50. That's actually kind of interesting. I think I like that because it's going to stay open a decent amount of the time. And yeah, if you pull like an E or a C, you'll be playing Jakes or Jacks for 50 or 60 points. Along with many other possibilities as well. Like you could easily draw Junks, for instance. So I think that's actually a cool play. I would have probably gone with that if I had seen it. Yeah, pretty stumped here. I mean, P, Opa. I guess there's also Opa in this spot. I was only looking here for some reason. But this is one more point. But I just don't think 9 or 10 points is quite worth sacrificing. AORT is still a pretty good leave. And AERT is better, but like I could also easily redraw another E, so I don't think it's worth that many points just to hold on to the E. And P also does open another nice line for 7s on row 11 under that A, which is good for me, so I think P is reasonable. He plays Jaeger. Yeah, I don't think there's much else to do here with Bow. I mean, you could play Ow, but that doesn't really help your cause since it takes so many front hooks. Sometimes it's better to leave off a tile and set yourself up for a hook instead of playing the tile to start with. But in a case like that, when there's just so many hooks anyway, I can't imagine that it's worth it to score 3 less points and also keep the B, which is kind of troublesome for bingoing. So Bow looks good, and then yeah, he plays Latexes. I mean, I have to play Tiramisu here, obviously. I mean, I'm down a lot, so I need to just bingo and hope he can't hit me too bad, but that's exactly what he does with a triple. And yeah, I mean, this game is already pretty lost. I guess I could play Who. GINP is a good leave because of the ING. And I mean, I do have some chances, I guess, of hitting something with up, like a 7-letter word down, so maybe that's not bad. I kind of liked Ring, though, because if I can pull one of the S's, the Rings hook is sort of annoying to block, because if he plays like through that N or something, he'll actually still be leaving it open. So just for the long-term openness of the board, and also that bingo line will score a lot more. The problem is after Who, right? Like even if I bingo for 70 on column J, I'm still going to be down, and not only that, I'll be putting a tile in the triple line down here on row 15 and giving him a lot back. So I'm probably still going to need, I mean, at least one more bingo after that, and even I'm not sure that would be enough. So I still think Ring is probably a better play just for my long-term prospects of coming back. He plays Beiji, which is a good play just to block off a bunch of lines. Yeah, I guess OH. Maybe should I have done this? I didn't really consider it, but yeah, actually maybe that does make sense because I hit with all the vowels, right? A 7 on column J because I have Padrona, or excuse me, Pandora with an A on column J. I have Pandora with an E, Poniard Padroni with an I. So I have a lot of options on column J. Actually, yeah, Pandora and Padrona are both good. O gives me Pandora, as does an O. S gives me Pardon. So yeah, that's actually enough. I mean, again, the problem is, even if I bingo there, I'm still going to be down enough that I'll probably need, or almost certainly need, another bingo after it. And Apron does score more and also open a more high-scoring bingo line on column O if I can hit the N on one of the triples. So that is the benefit. But I think I do just bingo enough after OH that I probably should have gone with this. So yeah, it's looking bleak either way, but I guess I probably have a better outside shot with OH. Yeah, he plays Führer, which is fine. You could consider Tartufo just to block the end, but I like the idea of keeping a vowel here because when you're up this much, you really want to avoid disaster scenarios like having 7 consonants and not being able to block a setup your opponent makes. And it is a somewhat consonant-heavy pool, so keeping the vowel for insurance, I think, is important. So I like Führer. Yeah, okay, no HastyBot. I'm not going to play OH for 26, keeping 4 Ds and a V. I mean, come on. Like, yeah, no. That just literally never wins. You have to exchange here and I mean, just sort of hope for the best. Yeah, just a hilarious draw. I mean, 4 Ds, an H and a V. What a rack. Yeah, diff. Okay, I mean, you could do this, but like I said, with Edify, at least, number 1, I'm setting up QI for like 50 next turn if I pull an I. And number 2, there is a shot if I can pull EINU specifically, which I saw, and maybe there's 1 or 2 other things, or I do hit Henneken for like 120, which would get me back into this game. So if I do want to try to win with only 1 bingo, which is probably my best bet, it's going to be pretty tough to bingo twice on this board with that pull. I think Edify is reasonable. Yeah, Quiff looks pretty good for him. Oh, should I have considered Thief? No, I can't at this point, because there's no U's left. Right, he just played the last U with Kuif, so I'm going to be stuck with the Q till the rest of the game after Thief. And yeah, I mean, I'm just not going to have any realistic chances. Because I'm never going to be able to bingo. There's no possibility of drawing like Shekalim or Mbakanga. I guess I could draw like Kintars, but I mean, it's not going to play for enough. So I think QI is fine. Yeah, he just plays EL. Yeah, I don't know here. I mean, do I ever really win with either Vetch or Have? Probably not. But yeah, like I said, the problem with Have is like, even if he doesn't bomb the Z, even if he plays Head and then gets caught with the Z, right? So Have puts me down 92. Head is 36. I'll be down 128. If he has like a Z and 2 Ds and 4 other tiles, that's 36. So 128 minus 36 is still 92. I'm going to still need 92. And if I bingo to the end, it's going to be like 86. Like, he's still going to win by a couple points. That's the problem. Like, he's just going to always be able to score enough there. Whereas after Vetch, I score a few more points immediately. I score 4 more, so I get myself that much closer. And I'm sort of hoping he'll play like 3 tiles elsewhere. Like, if he plays Hand or something through this N and Ring for just 16, then I definitely could bingo out with, say, something like Straighten to that N for 77, and that would be enough to win. I'd have to imagine, right? Because then I'm down 88. Yeah, if he only scores 16 or something, and then has to have the Z when I bingo out, then he'll be up 100, and I'll be getting 30 for his rack. So I will win pretty comfortably if I can bingo out. And, I mean, I could definitely draw Straighten. It's certainly conceivable. It's pretty unlikely. But, I mean, I felt it was about as good a shot as anything else I had. And yeah, I mean, I just don't see anything that gives me really any realistic shot here. Yeah, he plays Sindet, and yeah, I mean, there's not much else here, I guess, other than Aided, but I mean, I was just completely out of time, and like, if I bingo down here, I could have actually made it pretty close. I don't think I could have won, because I would have needed 96, so I couldn't have quite won, but yeah, I spent most of my time just making sure I couldn't bingo out. Yeah, he Aided. I gave back Hayes, and I was about to go out with Ross, but I didn't get it off in time. So we'll score this as let's see, so 324 to 475. I guess is probably the fairest way to score it. I mean, it doesn't really matter too much for for spread. But yeah, we'll say I didn't get that off, and I'll lose 10 points for going overtime. I think that's what I've done in earlier. It's been a while since I've gone overtime in one of these games, so I can't exactly remember what I did, but I think I gave myself a 10-point penalty. And yeah, so we'll say 324 to 475, a win for HastyBot. But yeah, I mean, this wasn't a bad game. Like, I still felt I had some outside chances at the end, like I said, just because I could have conceivably bingoed out and caught him with the Z. But it just didn't materialize. And yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy with how I played this game. I don't think there were any turns I specifically regret or any mistakes I made. Just kind of a bunch of clunky tiles, and he scored like 202 turns, and just kind of tough to come back from that. So be it. Another loss, but we're still doing quite well. We're 42 and 24 after this game, so the series is still very heavily in our favor, and hopefully we can get back on the winning train in game number 67, which I will see you guys for very soon. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a good one. Bye-bye.